Vikram standing in front of a whiteboard covered in arrows, bubbles, drawings, some highlights. You know how those whiteboards are. And it is typically made by someone who's had too much coffee and a very specific obsession. The obsession being Zenith Logistics and specifically their driver churn problem. Priya is watching him from across the table. She has seen Vikram sketch these things whiteboards before, she has. But she has never seen him look quite this energized about a client who has not even agreed to buy anything yet. What Vikram is doing in this moment, this very moment, is not solving a problem. No, he's not. He's imagining a future that Zenith has not imagined yet. And that is a completely different thing. Hi, I'm Prashant Uttekar and this is the Accidental Sales Strategist, where every episode is a story and the framework hiding inside it. In the last episode, Vikram and Priya walked out of the meeting with Mr. Iyer at Zenith Logistics, having shown zero products, discussed no pricing at all, and yet secured a warm follow-up. That was Illuminate in action, the I of IRVAAS. Today, Vikram takes what he learned in that room and does something with it. This is Reframe, the R in IRVAAS. The Zenith Logistics insight does not leave Vikram alone. It is there on his commute. It interrupts Meera's television serial, which she is not especially happy about. It even shows up in a dream where Vikram is somehow trying to herd a large group of truck drivers using a bonsai tree. Paints a picture, doesn't it? The thing bouncing around in his head is this: Zenith came to them asking for a simple CRM to manage driver data. That's it. And that's exactly what they said they needed. But what they actually have is a driver loyalty problem that is quietly eating away at the one thing they care about the most, their reputation for reliability. A CRM does not fix that, right? You know that. Something much bigger does, and Vikram keeps coming back to these questions. And what are these questions like? What if Zenith stopped thinking about their drivers as an operational cost and started thinking about them as a strategic asset? Wow. What if the way you treat your drivers is actually the thing that makes you the most reliable logistics company in your region? He pulls Priya into a meeting room early the next morning. I want to think something through, he says, and I need a whiteboard. This is Reframe, the second letter of IRVAAS. Reframe is not about ignoring what the client asked for. Zenith asked for a CRM, that is real, and that's for sure. Vikram is not going to walk in and say the CRM does not matter, but what Illuminate revealed is that there is a bigger conversation available, one that connects their operational challenge to their strategic identity. Reframe is about elevating that conversation. Not solving the stated problem, but helping the client see a version of their future that makes the stated problem look much smaller than what is actually at stake. The question Vikram keeps asking himself is, what if? What if Zenith could become the company that drivers actually want to work for? What would that do to the reliability? What would that do to their brand? What would that do to every client relationship they have? That is horizon thinking, and that's big. And it is what he is about to put on the whiteboard. Vikram grabs a marker and turns to the whiteboard with an energy Priya has not seen from him in months. What if, he starts, we do not pitch Zenith a CRM to track driver data? What if we help them imagine what it looks like to become the company that drivers genuinely choose to work for? He starts writing, enhanced driver communication, onboarding that actually makes people feel welcome, recognition that goes beyond a payslip, career pathways that make driving at Zenith feel like a future, not just a job. Zenith, the ultimate driver destination. He writes at the top of the whiteboard and circles it twice. Priya watches for a moment and then starts contributing. What if there was a platform for peer support among drivers? What if Zenith could offer mobile training modules? What if the technology they invest in actually made every driver's day easier rather than just tracking them? They are going far beyond a CRM now, and we know it, they both knew it too, and it feels little terrifying. Vikram steps back and looks at the whiteboard. It is a mess. Definitely, it's a mess of arrows, bubbles, and ideas. But it is also something else. It is a picture of a company Zenith could become, not the company they are, not even the company they think they are trying to become, something much beyond. And then the doubt walks in, as it always does. Is this too much? Vikram asks. Will Mr. Iyer think we have lost our minds, like Mr. Gupta probably still thinks? Can Bright Stars even deliver something like this? Priya taps her pen on the table. Maybe not off the shelf, she says. But the vision is powerful enough to figure out the how later. You did not have a pre-packaged plan for Baba either, Vikram is trying to think now. You understood what he needed and then you built towards it. Vikram paused for a moment, looks back at the whiteboard and says, oh, she's right. The how comes later. First, let's help Mr. Iyer see the horizon. Here is the Baba parallel that Vikram got reminded of, and I want to make it explicit because it is the heart of how Reframe actually works. When Vikram was trying to win over Mr. Deshpande, he did not walk in with a grand plan. He walked in with a simple understanding of what Baba needed to believe, and then he found out ways to make them believe possible. Remember the how part later? The Natya Sangeet, the Pula Deshpande book, the bonsai, each one was a small piece of a larger picture he was painting. A future where Meera was happy and in good hands. Reframe in sales rooms works exactly the same way. You are not presenting an answer, you are presenting a question. What if? What if things could look like this? What if the problem you are solving is actually much more interesting than a driver database? A reframe is a hypothesis, not a prescription. I will repeat, a reframe is a hypothesis, not a prescription. You are inviting the client to explore a new horizon with you. And the best reframes are the ones where when the client hears it, they think, I have been trying to say this for months and did not know how. That is what Vikram is about to walk into Mr. Iyer's office with. I have sat with a lot of sales teams who are brilliant at Illuminate. They research well, they ask great questions, they leave first meetings with real insights. That specific adrenaline rush after the first meeting. I'm sure most of the salespersonal have it, right? You have the first meeting, you have a crazy experience and you already put your commit. I know how it feels. And then they go back to the office and write a proposal that answers the question the client originally asked. Reframe is the step between that most teams skip. The step where you take what you learned and you build a bigger picture from it before you even talk about solutions. The practical test I give teams in this: after your discovery meeting, before you write anything, ask yourself one simple question. If this client was describing their ideal future in 5 years, what would they say? Not what they told you they need. What they would say if they were being completely honest about what success looks like for them. This requires time, space, and lot of thinking. If you can answer that question from what you learned in the room, you have the material for a reframe. If you cannot, you probably need one more conversation before you are ready. The reframe is not a pitch, don't get it wrong. It is the moment you stop being a vendor and start being someone worth listening to. Vikram now had a whiteboard full of ideas and a vision for Zenith that is bigger than anything they come up with also. Next episode, he has to prove it. Not just to Mr. Iyer, but to Alok Verma, his CRO, who has not yet seen a single number that justifies any of this. That's validate, my friends. The V in IRVAAS. And it is where a beautiful vision either earns its place or dies quietly in a pipeline review. If your team is walking out of a great discovery meeting and going straight to proposals, I'm happy to have a conversation about what Reframe could look like for you. Until then, see you next episode. Bye bye.